Alex, open up. I'll give you 10 million. Save my son. On a stormy night, the screech of brakes shattered the silence as a sleek black Maybach pulled up outside my rundown naturopathic clinic. The door swung open, and a woman in a tailored suit stepped out, her presence as cold and unyielding as a winter frost. It was Emily Harper, the ex-wife who'd walked out on me 5 years ago for a life of luxury, without a backward glance. Now, she was a billionaire CEO, while I was still the broke herbalist scraping by in this dump of a clinic. Get lost. I leaned against the door from inside, my voice low but clear enough for her to hear. Outside, the rain pounded harder, fat drops hammering the faded sign over the entrance, making a sharp cracking sound like it was mocking my stubborn pride. Alex, I said I'd give you 10 million if you just help. Emily's voice came through the thick wooden door, laced with that commanding tone that was nothing like the soft-spoken woman I remembered. I let out a bitter chuckle. 10 million? 5 years ago, I'd scrimped for 3 months on nothing but cheap sandwiches and ramen to buy her a $1,000 handbag. When she got it, there wasn't a shred of gratitude, just a disgusted look as she said, Alex, I'm done with this broke life. The next day, she was gone. All she left on the table was a signed divorce paper and a cold note. We're from different worlds. Yeah. She was soaring high like an eagle now, and I was just a bug in the dirt. Ms. Harper, you got the wrong guy. I didn't feel like wasting more words, turning to head back to my room for some sleep. You should take your precious son to Johns Hopkins or Mayo Clinic. My little setup can't handle someone like you. Bam! A heavy thud echoed from outside, followed by a bodyguard's grunt. Then Emily's voice, sharp with anger. Alex, don't push it. You're the only one who can save him. I paused, a ripple stirring in my chest. My skills came from my family's old traditions, specializing in rare conditions that modern medicine couldn't touch. Emily knew that. Back when her mom was on death's door, I'd pulled her back with a single herbal brew. But so what? Your problems aren't mine. My heart was stone. These past 5 years, I'd run this clinic alone, treating patients by day, reading old texts by night. Life is stagnant as a forgotten pond. I thought I'd moved on from her, but seeing her again ripped open that old scar, blood pouring fresh. Alex. Her voice outside rose to a near roar, cracking with a sob. I'm begging you. Please save him. He's fading fast. It hit me hard. In all the years I'd known her, she'd never broken like this. She was always proud, composed. Even when she handed me those divorce papers, it was with cold finality, no regrets. What kind of desperation could bring a billionaire CEO to her knees in the rain, pleading with a nobody like me? I wavered. The knocking stopped, replaced by muffled sobs, raw and hopeless. It pierced me like needles over and over. I took a deep breath and finally unlatched the door. Outside, Emily was drenched, her expensive suit clinging to her curves. Her makeup was ruined, mascara streaking down her pale cheeks like ugly tears. She clutched a small boy wrapped in a blanket, his face as white as paper. When she saw me, a spark of hope lit her eyes, like a drowning person spotting a lifeline. Alex. Her lips trembled, words failing her. My eyes dropped to the kid in her arms. He looked about 4 or 5, eyes shut tight, lips tinged blue, breathing so faint it was almost gone. What shook me most was his face, the brows, the eyes. They mirrored my childhood photos, 7 or 8 parts alike. A wild thought flashed through my mind. I shook it off, dismissing the impossible. No way. We've been divorced 5 years. Comein. I stepped aside, making room. Whatever bad blood was between us, the kid was innocent. As a healer, I couldn't just let him die. Emily stumbled in like she'd been granted a miracle, cradling the boy. 2 bodyguards in black followed, but I blocked them at the door. The patient staying, everyone else out. My tone was ice. They glanced at Emily, and only backed off when she nodded, closing the door behind them. The clinic was bare bones. A consultation desk, a few chairs, and shelves lined with herbal jars. The air carried a faint, earthy scent of dried roots and leaves. Emily gently laid the boy on the cot in the back room, handling him like fragile glass. I approached, reaching out to check his pulse. Don't touch him. She swatted my hand away like a cornered animal, eyes full of wariness and hostility. I froze, then gave a self-mocking smile. Right. In her eyes, I was probably just some gold digger eyeing her fortune. Ms. Harper, if you don't trust me, take him and go now. I pulled back, my voice flat. I wouldn't want to be responsible if my little place delays his care. Her face flushed red, then pale, her chest heaving. She stared at me, eyes swirling with anger, conflict, and a plea I couldn't quite read. After a long beat, she deflated, dropping her hand with a hoarse whisper. Sorry. I'm just so on edge. I ignored it, placing my fingers on the boy's thin wrist again. His pulse was threadbare, flickering in and out like a candle in the wind, ready to snuff out. Cold had built up inside, seeping into his organs, worse than I'd feared. What's his diagnosis? I asked gravely. Congenital cold agglutinin disease. Emily's voice was low. Experts here and abroad have seen him. They all say, no hope. Her voice broke on those last words. I frowned. I'd read about it in old texts. Rare where the body runs cold, blood thickens and clots, blocking pathways. Untreated, organs fail. Ancient records called it a 9 in 10 death sentence. What's his name? How old? His name's Ethan. Emily's eyes darted away. He's 4.5. Ethan? Like, remembering someone? A strange mix of sourness and a hidden sting hit me. Give me his birth date and time. She blinked, caught off guard. Traditional healing sees the body tied to natural cycles. Birth details link to elemental balances, guiding diagnosis and remedies. She hesitated, then recited the numbers. I calculated silently as she spoke. The result jolted me. His chart matched mine almost exactly. Worse, the date placed his birth 10 months after our divorce. My mind went blank with a buzz. 10 months after the divorce. The timing was too perfect, forcing me to wonder. I snapped my head up, locking eyes with Emily, searching her face. Whose kid is he really? My voice came out rough from shock. Emily tensed, her gaze skittering away, avoiding mine. She pulled the boy closer instinctively, like guarding her treasure. Alex, what are you implying? She tried to sound steady, but her voice shook. He's my son, of course. What's it to you? Nothing to me. I closed in step by step, rage boiling over, threatening to drown my sense. Emily, look me in the eye and tell me, does he have anything to do with me? That face so like mine, that damning birth date, her weird behavior tonight. It all pointed to an answer I could barely face. You're crazy. Emily backed away until she hit the wall, trapped. She looked up, tears welling, her face a mask of defiance and chill. Alex, don't flatter yourself. We've been divorced 5 years. What kind of life have I had, and what about you? You think I'd have your kid? You think you're worthy? Worthy? The words stabbed like poison blades, twisting in my chest. Yeah, I wasn't. I was a nobody running a failing clinic, while she ruled a billion-dollar empire. An uncrossable chasm separated us. My strength drained away. I staggered back, leaning on the herb cabinet to stay upright. My chest ached worse than when she'd handed me those papers 5 years ago. Turns out, I hadn't forgotten, just buried it deep. Now, she'd torn it open and rubbed in salt. Good, fine. Nothing to do with me. I forced a grim smile, pointing at the door. Ms. Harper, in that case, get out. I can't cure your son's illness. Find someone better. You. Emily trembled with fury, her pointing finger shaking. Alex, do you have to be this heartless? Heartless. It struck me as hilarious. Emily, who's the heartless one here? 5 years ago, you vanished without a word, leaving a clean-cut divorce decree. Now you show up with some other guy's kid, begging for help, and call me heartless. Is that your idea of fair? My voice rose to a shout, all the pent-up hurt, resentment, and anger exploding. Emily froze under my outburst, tears finally spilling over, streaming down her face. She looked at me, lips moving like she wanted to explain, but nothing came out. She just held the boy, sobbing like a lost child. The clinic felt suffocating, heavy with tension. Only the kid's faint, ragged breaths cut through, whipping at our consciences like an invisible lash. Get out! I shut my eyes, waving her away wearily. I was afraid if I looked longer, I'd cave. Emily didn't budge. I said, get out. I snapped my eyes open, glaring red-eyed. She flinched, shrinking back, but still refused to move. She just clutched the boy, her eyes pleading desperately. We stood locked in standoff, neither yielding. Time ticked by. Suddenly, the boy on the bed let out a pained groan, his small body convulsing, face turning from pale to bluish purple. Ethan! Emily cried out, forgetting our fight, rushing to his side in panic. Ethan, what's wrong? Don't scare Mommy. My heart skipped. Anger forgotten, I dashed over. Ethan was curled up, teeth clenched, limbs twitching. He was about to pass out. The colds hitting his heart. My face paled. It was worse than I'd thought. Quick, prop him up against me. I barked at the frantic Emily. She snapped to, helping position his tiny frame against my chest. No time to think, I pressed my index and middle fingers together, channeling what little energy I had, tapping key points on his chest, sternum, solar plexus, upper abdomen. It was an old family technique, revive yang 9 points, usually with needles, but fingers would do. Meant for dire cases, it sparked the body's reserves to pull back from the brink. But it drained the practitioner hard. As I tapped, a warm flow eased from my fingertips into him. His spasms eased, color returned to his face, breath steadying. Emily watched, stunned, eyes wide with disbelief. She consulted top specialists worldwide, used cutting-edge tech, all useless. Yet this man she'd once dismissed had stabilized him with a few finger presses. This guy she thought beneath her was more enigmatic and capable than she'd ever imagined. Finishing the sequence, I was sweating buckets, face drained, body weak. I laid the now sleeping Ethan back, tucking him in. He's okay for now. I panted to the still shocked Emily. But it's just a stopgap, not a cure. To fix it for good, we need a rare herb. What herb? I'll find it. No matter the cost or effort. She snapped back, eager. 9-leaf revival root. The words hung heavy. Her face went ashen, blood draining away. How could it be that? She muttered, eyes filling with despair. You know about this herb? I caught the odd look on her face. 9-leaf revival root grew only on icy cliffs in frozen wastelands. A leaf per century, 9 for full potency. Pure yang essence. It was the only key for cold clot syndromes. Legendary stuff. Few had even heard of it, let alone seen it. How would a businesswoman like Emily know? Her eyes flickered, dodging mine, forcing a smile uglier than a grimace. I just heard an old herbalist mention it once. Said it's extinct. Extinct. My stomach dropped. Without it, Ethan was doomed. Looking at that face so like mine on the bed, my chest tightened, breath catching. Son or not, I wanted to save him. Where there's a will, I breathed deep, shoving down the chaos. If it exists, we can find it. Emily stayed silent, head down, expression hidden. The clinic fell into dead quiet again. Seeing her so broken, I softened despite myself. Head home for now. The kid stays here. Moving him could trigger it again. She jerked her head up, wary. What are you planning with him? I almost laughed in frustration. If I wanted harm, I wouldn't have helped. Ms. Harper, I get it. You're loaded now, looking down on guys like me. But to me, he's just a patient. I've practiced years without playing games with lives. My words seemed to hit home. Her guard eased a bit, but she didn't budge. I'm staying with him, she insisted. Fine. No point arguing. I turned to the shelves, prepping herbs for Ethan's next days. Emily sat by the bed, unmoving, eyes fixed on his pale face. I glanced at her while sorting. 5 years had changed her. Gone was the youthful softness. Now she was sharp, commanding, powerful. But stripped of her CEO armor, she was just a worried mom. My feelings tangled, regret, pity, and a reluctant affection I hated admitting. Yeah, I hated her, but I still loved her. Alex. Her voice broke my thoughts. I turned. Thank you. And sorry about earlier. I paused, then gave a faint, accepting it. No apology could erase 5 years of pain. About the 9-leaf revival root. She hesitated, then spoke. I know where it might be. My hand froze mid-grab. Where? Up north, the Lang family. She said it slowly, deliberately. The Langs. My brow furrowed. The Lang family in Chicago was a top pharmaceutical dynasty, operations nationwide. Rumor had it they kept a secret vault of extinct rarities. But Victor Lang, the patriarch, was a notorious shark, greedy, sly as they come. Getting anything from him was near impossible. Worse, I'd heard the Langs and Emily's company were bitter rivals. Think they'd hand it over? I eyed her doubtfully. I'll figure it out, she said, determination flashing. Whatever it takes. Seeing her so fierce for the kid, a weird unease hit me. If Ethan was really mine, what did that make these 5 years? A fool in the dark. The thought spread like weeds, unstoppable. I set down the herbs, stepping close, towering over her. Emily, one last time. My voice was flat, emotionless. Whose son is Ethan? She froze again, meeting my gaze this time. No evasión, no denied. We stared, air thick as stone. Finally, she gave a bleak smile, tears falling. Yes, he's yours. Our son. Boom. Lightning cracked outside, lighting Emily's pale face like a ghost. My world shattered in that instant. Even with my suspicions, hearing it from her lips hit like a thunderbolt, leaving me rigid, numb. He was my son. I had a son. This rundown clinic I'd guarded alone for 5 years. This night, I'd thought would end in lonely old age. Suddenly invaded by a woman telling me I had a 4.5-year-old boy. And he was dying. Absurd, laughable, cruel enough to break a heart. Why? My voice shook, words grinding out. Why hide it? Emily, what did you think I was? Some tool to call on when needed, kick aside when not? I'm sorry. Tears streamed like broken beads. Alex, I know you won't believe me, but I had no choice. No choice. I laughed, uglier than a sob. Your choice was ditching me for being broke, right? Jumping into someone else's arms, making me a fool. I knew my words cut deep, but I couldn't stop. 5 years of bitterness erupted. I was a beast lashing out to hurt her back. Emily blanched, staring in disbelief, lips quivering. You think I went to someone else? What else? A fresh grad with nothing. 5 years later, billionaire CEO? How? Luck. I'd followed her news. Her Harper Group rose like a rocket, crushing old firms. Rumors said a shadowy backer pulled strings. I'd assumed it was her new man. How ironic. Alex, is that what you think of me? Someone who'd sell out for cash. Her voice cracked with hurt and sorrow. Isn't it? What did you say back then? Tired of the poor life. Not from the same world. Your words, right? She opened her mouth, but nothing came. Yeah, she'd said them. Looking at me, the last spark in her eyes died, leaving only grief and despair. Fine. I admit it. I love money. I'm materialistic. Her smile was bitter self-mockery. Happy now? You can keep hating me, resenting me. She turned away, leaning over the bed to kiss Ethan's forehead softly. Ethan, sorry, Mommy's useless. She whispered, choking up. Mommy can't find the medicine. Don't be scared. I'll stay with you all the way, even beyond. Her quiet words hammer my heart. I jolted. She meant to die. Seeing her resolute back, panic surged. No, this couldn't happen. Whatever our grudges, the kid was blameless. He was my son. I couldn't watch him die. Or her. Emily. Are you insane? Her wrist was cold as ice, lifeless. She didn't fight, just turned with hollow eyes, calm. I'm not. If I can't save my own son, what's the point of living? Who says we can't? I said if there's a chance, we don't quit. Chance? She smiled sadly. You know Victor Lang. He's hated me for years, wants me destroyed. Now he's got my weakness. He'd never give it up. He'd use it to crush me, my whole family, into the ground forever. So she knew the Lang's ruthlessness, but was out of options. My heart twisted. Looking at her worn face, her hopeless eyes, my anger faded, replaced by a mess of feelings. Ache, reluctance, and that denied love. Yeah, I hated her, but I still loved her. I'll handle the Langs. I breathed deep, surprising even myself. You stay watch Ethan. Emily stared, incredulous. You, what? I said, I'll get the 9-leaf revival route. I met her eyes firm. He's my son. Saving him is my job. Emily was stunned. She probably hadn't expected the guy snarling at her moments ago to flip like this. Her eyes mixed shock, doubt, and tentative hope. Why? Help me. Her voice was dry. Not for you. I corrected, tone still cold. For my son. I turned away, heading to the back, dragging out a dusty wooden chest from under the bed. Inside, my silver acupuncture set, a yellowed license, some old clothes. My whole kit. I pocketed the needles, grabbed salves and antidotes from shelves, bundling them at my waist. Done. I glanced at Ethan on the bed. He slept deeply, breaths, even a bit of color back. My heart melted. This was my boy, my blood. For him, I'd storm any fortress, face any hell. While I'm gone, brew this formula twice daily, 1 cup each time. I handed her the scribbled recipe. Slow simmer over low heat, no metal pots. She took it dazedly, the bold script unchanged from years ago. And his cold might flare. If he twitches or faints, use this. I pulled a small vial from my pocket. Heart pill. Buys an hour for his vitals. Only as last resort. You. She started, stopped. Call if needed. I recited my old number. She'd remember. Alex. She stepped forward, clutching my sleeve, eyes teary. The Lang place in Chicago is a viper's nest. Going alone's too risky. Maybe. Another way. No other way. I cut her off, final. Delaying endangers her more. I pried her hand free, heading out. Wait. She pulled a black card from her bag. 100 million here. Pin's your birthday. Take it for the road. Victor's greedy. Enough cash might. No need. I pushed it back without a glance. I'm broke, but not living off a woman's money. I opened the door, stepping into the rainy night without looking back. Behind, her stifled sobs echoed. I didn't turn. One look and I'd stay. Chicago was 1,000 miles from Seattle. I skipped flights for the slowest Amtrak to sort my head and save cash. My savings? Under $5,000 total. On the swaying train, watching scenery blur, my mind raced. Ethan, my son. Emily, my ex. These two crashed back into my life like a drama script. What now? Save him, then? Rekindle with her? No way. Beyond 5 years and class gaps, betrayal scarred us deep. If I failed, I shut down the thought. The train chugged along. 2 days later, I hit Chicago. Stepping off, biting cold hit me. Chicago was chillier than Seattle. Folks bundled in heavy coats. I pulled my thin jacket tight, following the address on my phone to the Lang estate. It sat in Chicago's prime downtown, a sprawling mansion with manicured grounds, iron gates, and imposing lion statues at the entrance, screaming old money power. 2 suited guards eyed me, temples bulging, trained muscle. I breathed deep, approaching. I'm here for Victor Lang. Appointment. One scanned my shabby clothes, sneering. No. I shook my head. Tell him Alex Carter from Seattle's here for the 9-leaf revival route. He blinked, surprised a scrub like me demanded their boss by name for some obscure herb. He waved me off like a nut. Beat it, don't block the way. I stood firm, calm. Please, just pass it on. My tone carried weight. He hesitated, cowed. Then a butler type emerged, frowning at me. Who's causing scene? The guard ratted. Mr. Fletcher, this guy's popped up demanding the boss and some 9-leaf thing. Fletcher's face shifted, eyeing me appraisingly. You're Alex Carter from Seattle? I nodded. Surprise flickered, then calm. The boss has been expecting you. Follow me. My gut tightened. Expecting me? Emily's every move was watched. From the moment I left Seattle, he'd known. That sly fox lived up to his rep. This visit wouldn't be easy. Following Fletcher through winding halls to an ornate study. Incense curled, sandalwood. A 50-ish man in a sharp suit lounged in an armchair, sipping tea. Victor Lang. His smile was warm, but eyes sharp with schemes, like a fox eyeing prey. Mr. Carter, have a seat. He set down his cup, gesturing like to an old pal. Mr. Lang. I stayed standing, cutting to it. I'm here for the 9-leaf revival route. Hey, young folks, always rushing. He chuckled, pouring me tea. Sit, warm up. Chicago's colder than Seattle. Top shelf, oolong, fragrant. But no time for chit-chat. Mr. Lang, let's be straight. I said gravely. Name your price. What for the herb? He blew on his tea, drawling Mr. Carter. That's no way to talk. This herb's priceless, not for sale. Then what do you want? Dread sank in. Worse when they skip money. He set down his cup, foxtail showing. I hear your skills trace to ancient masters, reviving the near-dead, mending bones. Shock it. My lineage was secret. Only me and my late mentor knew. Emily knew I was good, but not the source. How'd he know? Where'd you hear that nonsense? I kept cool. You know if it's nonsense. He grinned slyly. No games. The herb's yours, for one condition. What? Heal my son's legs. He locked eyes, deliberate. I froze. Victor's son, Dylan Lang, was a notorious playboy. 3 years back, a drag racing crash shattered his legs. He lived, but wheelchair-bound forever. Big news in Chicago, I'd heard. Victor had tried every expert, every method. Nothing. Now targeting me. You overestimate me. I shook my head. Your son's fractures are set. Nerves damaged. Beyond help. No lie. 3 years past prime window. Even my mentor couldn't. Don't rush, no. He pulled a file, handing it over. Look at this. Puzzled, I opened it. My pupil shrank. It was Ethan's full medical history. Every checkup, episode, rescue. More detailed than Emily's knowledge. You spied on my son. My voice iced. Murder in my eyes. Don't misunderstand. He waved innocently. Just checking on an old acquaintances. Grandson. Acquaintance? Grandson. It clicked. Emily's mom, my ex-mother-in-law, had a rare cold disorder I'd cured. Ethan's inherited it from her. Victor knew about Ethan, his illness, that only I could help. He'd waited for Emily to desperation, drawing me in, using the herb to force me. Ruthless scheming. Chills ran up my spine. This guy was a hidden viper, anything for goals. Well, Mr. Carter, he smirked in control. Trade your magic for your boy's life, or watch him go. Good deal, right? I clenched fists, nails biting palms, pain absent. He had me, using my son's life to make me do the impossible. If I fail, I grated. Then fate's cruel. He shrugged, feigning pity, eyes cruel. Blood rushed. I nearly smashed his smug face. But couldn't. Ethan's life in his grip. I shut eyes, breathed, forcing calm. Fine, I agreed. Eyes open, cold. But my condition. Oh, interested. Herb first. No. Instant refusade. How do I know you won't bail? How do I know you'll deliver after? I countered coldly. Dealing with foxes, keep a card. He narrowed eyes, chill flashing. Tension thick. Finally, herb first. But you stay here, heal my son. No leaving. And for motivation, son comes here too. Hostage Ethan too. Victor Lang, that's too far. Too far. He sneered. Compared to a life, it's fair. Eyes like a spider's on a fly. Mr. Carter, my patience is thin. No choice. For the herb, for Ethan's life, I swallowed the humiliating terms. Fine. Gritted out. Victor smiled, satisfied. He snapped. Fletcher brought a ornate box. Opened. Hot yang energy rushed out. Inside, a crimson, ginseng-like plant, exactly 9 leaves. 9-leaf revival root. Trembling with excitement, I cradled it, feeling its vital force. With this, Ethan had a shot. Herb's yours, but you stay. Victor's voice doused my joy like cold water. I glared. I need to send it back first. Sure. Surprisingly agreeable. I'll send escorts. And invite your boy over. Invite, heavy with threat. I knew escorts meant watchers. No options. I called Emily, said I had it, prepped to receive, hinted Ethan might leave her temp. Long silence. I thought refusal. But, okay, got it. You, be careful. Hung up, I boxed the herb, handed to his men. Tell Emily. Crush half with jade mortar. Mix with pure water. Dose him. Rest. Simmer low 49 hours. Bath him daily. They nodded, left. Watching them go, emptiness hit. Now, stuck in the snake pit, healing a rival's son. Success, all good. Failure, doom. Dylan's quarters, a separate wing and back. Entering, he wheeled facing away, staring at falling leaves. Hearing steps, he turned. Pale from indoor life, but eyes dark with malice. Seeing me, disdain and challenge. You the miracle Doc Dad hired? He had me mockingly. Looked like a pushover, frielier than me. Ignored the taunt, knelt to check legs. Back off. Don't touch with your filthy hands. He exploded, kicking at my chest. I dodged, but it grazed, stinging. Dylan, manners. Victor at doors, stern. This is Mr. Carter. Here for your legs. Legs? Huh. Experts abroad called it hopeless. Him. Dylan scoffed. Dad scam. Quiet. Victor darkened. Do as he says, or cards cut off. That worked. Dylan sulked silent. Victor to me, fake smile. Mr. Carter, excuse the boy. His legs are in your hands. I nodded wordless. Victor gone. I knelt again. No fight this time, just venomous glare. Unwrapping bandages. Legs atrophied, scarred like dead branches, lifeless. I press points, muscles rigid, channels blocked, dead. Worse than imagined by far. Healing this wasn't skill, it was defying fate. Well, Doc. Dylan sneered at my silence. Hopeless? Scram, don't waste time. Ignored, shut eyes, sent faint energy probe. Dead zone, no response. Heart sank. Really impossible. No, I refused. Minter said, all things balance. Every ailment has a counter, if found. Calmed, I comb mental archives. Flash, forgotten snippet from old manual remnant. In death's grasp, energy scatters. To defy fate, use strong vital force as guide. Rebuild life. Strong vital force? Life sacrifice. Insane, unethical, against healing code. Dismissed, but no alternatives. Next days, hold up pouring Lang library tomes for options. Victor didn't rush, fed well, but guards multiplied. His patience waning. Ethan's life, my dangling sword. Near despair, Fletcher fetched. Boss wants you. To a secret lab. Instruments whirring, Doc in white coat. Victor pointed screen. Mr. Carter, see this? I looked, real-time feed of Ethan in clinic treating. Blood froze. He'd bug my place. Emily and Ethan watched. Victor alone. I grabbed his collar red-eyed. What the hell? No fight, just mug laugh. Easy. Just reminding. Your boy's worsening. My herb's not free. Screen. Ethan twitching, paling. Emily panicking. Heart crushed. Ready to share your plan? He shoved off, straight and smug. Screen's agony. My son writhing. No escape. Need one thing. I shut horse. Name it. A live adult Siberian tiger. Victor blinked. Expected treasures, not a tiger. Tiger for what? Puzzled. Healing. Open eyes, calm. Your son's legs, bones, nerves dead, vitality gone. Normal meds useless. Need extreme yang essence, its blood, energy, to break blocks, restore. Half-truth. Manual strong force, not tiger-specific, but tiger parts boost bones, circulation. Real reason. Another plan? Ridiculous. Lab doc objected. Tiger bone in meds, sure, but live tiger essence? Witchcraft, not medicine. Believe or not. Ignored him, to Victor. Give it. He scrutinized, weighing truth. Finally, tiger doable. 3 days max. But warning, no improvement in 3. Collect your boy's body. Voice like venom. Silent, left. Back to wing, Dylan same limp sneer. Figured out my junk legs? Mocking. No reply, step close, tap sleep point. He slumped silent. Laid him flat, pulled needles. Not to heal, but cripple his good leg. Eye for an eye. Victor threatened my son's life. I'd leverage his son's leg. Fingers brush needles, eyes cold resolve. Needle poised at point, door opened. Fletcher with soup. Saw needles, unconscious Dylan, face changed. What are you doing? Startled but committed. Sped up, needles flashing into key points, hip, thigh, calf. Stop. He dropped bowl, lunged. Old but agile, trained. Dodged, counter chopped to neck. He grunted, collapsed. Focused, applied lock pulse method from manual. Temp seal, good legs flow, fake full paralysis. Risky, one slip, permanent. Sweat beaded. Each needle drained me. Last one done, pulling back, footsteps chaos outside. Door kicked in. Victor with guards stormed. Saw Fletcher down, sun out, my needles, face twisted rage. Alex, you're dead. Roar. Guards pounced like wolves. Ready, hurled chair, smashed window, leaped from second floor. Soft lawn, rolled, sprinted a wall. Behind, Victor's furious yells, pursuit. Had to escape. He'd guessed my play. Caught Ethan and I doomed. Full sprint, scaled wall, hit street. Flag cab to station. Back to Seattle now. But underestimated Victor's Chicago grip. Cab blocked by SUVs, streets away. Doors opened. Armed thugs surrounded. Led. Revive Fletcher, face storming murder. Mr. Carter, boss requests you. Pull me in. Back to estate, not study, damp basement. Victor in chair, toying iron balls, face blank. Dylan on stretcher, eyes shut, pale. Alex impressive. Voice like Arctic slag. First across me. Just claiming what's mine. Yours. Sneer. You ruined my son's other leg. Dare say that? Temp seal. Flows unlock in 12 hours. Flat. This for fair trade. Trade. Yes. Med eyes deliberate. Your son's leg for my son's life. From now. Harm a hair on him. Your boy's leg stays gone. Victor's face greened. Balls clicked. Eyes murder solid. Basement air choked. Guards grip bats, awaiting order to pulp me. Unfazed, held gaze. Gambling. His son's leg outweighed my life. Seconds stretched, eternal. Finally, murder faded. Wave guards off. You win. Horse. Age decade. Relief inside. Gamble paid. Release me and my son. Grave. Yes. Not. But heal Dylan's leg first. Trust you how. No choice. Cold stare. Heal now. Take your boy. Leave Chicago. Or we all burn. His line. Fine. Not. Quiet room. No interruptions. Back to wing. Dylan out on bed. Breathe deep. Needles out. Began unlock. Harder than lock. Precise hits or permanent. 2 hours later. Last needle massage tap wake point. Dylan stirred. Felt leg move. Eyes wild joy. My leg. It works. Babbling tried sitting. Door. Victor rushed hearing. Saw son flex. Hard man's eyes reddened. Good. Good. Voice shook. Gripped hand. Father's son wept. Didn't interrupt. Packed needles headed out. Wait. Victor stopped. Wiped tears, pulled check. 100 million. Your fee. Glanced. Shook head. We're square. Left without pause. Victor didn't stop. Our feud done. Just want to Seattle, my son. Exiting estate. Hailing cab to airport. Black Maybach pulled up. Door opened. Emily stepped out. Haggard. Eyes bloodshot, but joy at seeing me safe. You. Okay. Rushed over. Scanning. Voice shaky. Fine. Shook head. Why here? Worry. Low. Afraid. Something happened. Warmth hit. Despite walls, her concern real. Ethan. Urgent. He's stable. Smile finally. After the herb, docs say consistent treatment. He'll recover. Relief flooded. Get in. Open door. Let's go home. Home. Warm. Extravagant word. Boarded. Watch Chicago lights blur. Dreamlike. Days of highs. Lows. From hell to heaven. Back to earth. Cabin quiet. Us silent. Awkward. Charged. Saw the... She broke it. And thank you. New sorry cover now in 5 years. Thank you for saving our son. No reply. Stared out. Emotions mixed. Forgive. Unsure. Some wounds scar forever. Car sped to Chicago's private airstrip. Jet waiting. Hit me. Emily wasn't the girl I'd scrimped for anymore. Her world. Her empire. Me. Still the clinic guy. Could we rewind? Plane landed in Seattle at dawn. Back to rundown clinic. All felt surreal. Open door. Herbal scent strong. Back cot. Ethan slept soundly. Cheeks rosy. Breath strong. No more near-death pallor. Heart overflowed. Emily lingered at door, watching us father-son. I, heading to office. Low. Lots to handle. Nadie. No pli. We needed space to think, plan next steps. Emily gone, sat bedside, gazing at him. First calm look. Brows like mine. Nose like mine. Mouth too. Mini-me. Hand out. Stroke soft hair. Warmth indescribable. My son. Worth anything. Next days, routine resumed. Clinic days. Nights brewing for Ethan. Massages for channels. No slack till full cure. Emily visited daily, but door glances only, no intrusion. Brought pricey supplements, toys, refused all. Invisible wall between. Neither dared cross. Until that night. Story time with Ethan, she entered. Ditch suit for cozy sweater, hair loose, softer. Alex, can we talk? Doorway, fidgety. Tucked Ethan in, followed outside. Riverside bench. Breeze tousled her hair, my thoughts. 5 years ago, I didn't want to leave. Started choking. Pregnant. Checkup found my family's genetic cold disorder. Doc said high inheritance risk. Dad's company crisis then. Victor pounced to take over. He learned my condition, threatened. If I didn't leave, abort. He'd ruin you, us all. Scared. To protect you, unborn baby. Had to hurt you worst, drive you away. Lied about hating poverty, loving another. Seeing your pain, mine worse. After Alone Abroad, had Ethan. Worked like hell, built Harper Group, saved family, even countered Victor. Thought, strong enough to shield you both, could return. But Ethan sickened, worse than feared, cried like guilty child. Listen quiet. Truth finally. Woman I'd hated protected me by leaving. 5 years abroad, fragile child, business battles, unimaginable strain. Me, comfortably resenting. Heart needled, agony. Pulled her close. Stiffened, then sobbed on shoulder, releasing years' burdens. Held tight, her tears soaking shirt. Saudi, wronged you, cried harder. That night talked loads. Past 5 years stories. Our son, Ethan. Future. Dawn broke, hand in hand back to clinic. Open door. Ethan awake, big eyes on us. Saw hands linked, giggled. Daddy, Mom. Milky voice. We smiled, eyes teary. Lost 5 years gone, but countless ahead. With our son, Ethan.